The 6th season of Miraculous Ladybug is coming, and it will bring a new villain who uses the Butterfly Miraculous, making poor Nooroo a slave once again without the little creature being able to do anything. Or can he? In today's video, we will see the theory that Nooroo could become a more active character and help the heroes to stop Lila. Are you curious? Then stay with me because this is my favorite show. From what we can see so far of Nooroo in the series or when broadcasting, he doesn't like his Miraculous being used for evil purposes. However, he has never been able to combat the villainy of Gabriel Agreste during his time as Hawk Moth, Shadow Moth and Monarch. This is because Nooroo has a very peaceful and insecure personality, which, combined with the mistreatment he received from his holder, made him remain silent during his reign of terror in Paris, probably out of fear of worsening the situation. Therefore, the only time he tried to help the heroes was in the Dreamer episode of the season, where he intended to communicate with the other Kwamis on his birthday to tell them who Hawk Moth was and where he was hiding, a move he intended to be as discreet as possible to avoid a direct confrontation with the villain. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. But then, if Nooroo never managed to turn against Gabriel, why do I think he can do it against Lila? Well, for starters, he must be tired of this life as a villain's mascot. At some point, he says enough is enough. Another reason would be that Lila must have much less knowledge about the Miraculous than Gabriel had. The fashion designer may have studied the Butterfly Miraculous enough to discover a way to keep Nooroo subdued all this time, and since she doesn't know this secret, Nooroo might feel safer trying to disrupt the villain's plans. One thing that could have inspired him to turn against his new holder might be the attitude in this Catalyst episode of the 5th season, where the Kwami of Destruction used his cataclysm to destroy his Miraculous, thus preventing Monarch from obtaining absolute power. As we already know, Kwamis are capable of knowing what happens in the outside world even when they are united with their holders. So Nooroo witnessed this act of courage from his colleague Plag, and the memory of this event could end up serving as inspiration for him to think of a way to go against his new holder, Lila. Probably the solution he would find would be to look for a way to damage the Butterfly Miraculous and attack right at the enemy's strongest point. But the big question is how he would do it. Probably Lila always keeps it close by and is always attentive to her movements. So if Nooroo really wanted to act to help the heroes, he would have to be very clever. But there would be a way to do it. We know that Lila won't be in her hideout all the time since she will assume a new identity to study at the new school of Mayor Bourgeois. And surely she would not leave her valuable brooch behind. So Nooroo would also go to school. There he could take advantage of the girl's moment of distraction to move away and do something that would draw attention to his presence. Even if he had the prohibition of moving away from his holder as he did with Gabriel, a little distance to let himself be seen by someone would be enough. In this way, he would end up alerting the students and teachers, including Ladybug and the other heroes, that the holder of the Butterfly Miraculous was at the school. And before you ask, no, Nooroo doesn't know who Ladybug is or any other hero holder of a Miraculous. But in the battle as Monarch, the Miraculous fell into the water before Marinette revealed herself to Gabriel. But he must know that the heroes treat young people and that they could be in the same place as Lila. And even if they studied at another school, the news of a mysterious little creature seen at a school would soon spread, possibly reaching the heroes. And they would immediately start an investigation of the students and teachers in search of the Butterfly Miraculous, with probable support from the director of the school. From there would be two possibilities: either they would find a Miraculous and everything would be resolved, which would be unlikely, or Lila would be forced to separate from her Miraculous for a while so as not to be discovered. She could leave it in her hideout if the hero's investigation took place on another day, or she might have to hide it somewhere in the school. One way or another, Nooroo would be alone with the Butterfly Miraculous for a while, which he could take advantage of to sabotage the jewel. And again comes the question, how would he do it? Well, we know that the Miraculous can indeed be damaged or even destroyed. So far, we have seen two cases where this happened with the Miraculous of the peacock, the bee, and the cat. The bee and the cat were destroyed by the power of cataclysm. As for the peacock, we never really know how it broke. Probably it was not another cataclysm. Plag is not so reckless. All we know is that the brooch was found by Gabriel, Natalie, and Emily on an expedition in Tibet, along with the Butterfly Miraculous. And we also know that the jewels ended up there because they were lost by Fu when he fled the destroyed temple of the Miraculous. And the peacock brooch was already damaged when it was found, and the butterfly brooch was intact. So this leads us to believe that some natural event broke the object. Being magical jewels, the Miraculous are very resistant, but that doesn't mean they are invulnerable. Perhaps a very strong impact could damage them. Maybe the peacock brooch fell off a cliff and hit a rock, or maybe it was crushed or forced by a very strong animal. And with that in mind, Nooroo could think of a way to damage the Butterfly Miraculous. He could take the jewel and take it to a dangerous place like a construction site or a road and find a way for it to be crushed. Then he would return to the hideout where Lila left him and pretend to be innocent. Lila might not even stop to look at the state of the brooch and would only realize it when she went to use it. And even if she noticed before, Nooroo could say that he was sleeping the whole time or make up some other excuse. Lila would be irritated because of the brooch and might take out that anger on poor Nooroo. But probably she would not want to leave the miraculous aside and would use it damaged, becoming weaker and weaker because of it and thus making it easier for the heroes to stop her. Maybe it would even get to the point where the villain would get sick like Emily and Natalie did. It would be a somewhat cruel but very efficient help from our friend Nooroo. And that's it, folks. What do you think of this theory? Does it make sense? Or am I going crazy? Comment below. Thank you very much for watching this far, and don't subscribe to my channel and turn off the bell.